get started with tonight's stream discussing WrestleMania 36, I just wanted to share you a little bit of some personal news that's going on with me right now. Of course, I have been kind of, throwing hints that there's been some things going on with my family over the past month or so. Um, so I am going to, I kind of mentioned it in one of my live reactions earlier. So apologize if you're hearing this again. I promise to be the last time I mention it. Just wanted to just get a little more in depth with what's been going on. I more so didn't want to say a lot of this publicly because I just want to make sure that when the right things happen, then once the right people notice, I just wanted to throw this out there. But so I've been mentioning for about the past month or so that I've had a few um family emergencies, and it's because my uncle. He had been sick with pancreatic cancer. He was doing really well for quite a long time. Unfortunately, though, last month things just like went bam, just like got terrible again. Um, so unfortunately, last month he took a massive turn for the worse, and well, it's 12:45 in the morning now. So on Saturday, April the 4th, he passed away at the age of 60. So I'm gonna say a little bit more about him, and I'll move on to the review. But just to share with you, a photo. This is a picture of him and I back in 1995 at his wedding. I was only about 20 months old. I wasn't even 2 years old yet. He was my godfather. He was a great man. He did a lot for me and my family. Um, he was one of those guys who would do anything he could to support you, even the most impossible times. He was a cotton candy vendor at different Pittsburgh sporting events. I mostly saw him at Pirate games. He always gave me a free cotton candy. And he's just one of those guys that no matter who you were, he always did whatever he could to put a smile on your face. So, I don't want to ramble on it more, but just wanted to just share this news with you guys. I just asked you to just pause for just a brief moment of silence just to remember him, please. Thank you very much, guys. May you rest in peace, Sizzle. We love you. So, anyways, well, wait, not yet. Okay, sorry, I'm messing up the graphics now, but just want to get that out of the way. So, thank you guys for letting me do that really quick. But guys, welcome to my live review for WrestleMania 36. This is the Club of the Man 1993. I'm here to review both Night 1 and Night 2 from WrestleMania 36. It's been a long, crazy weekend. Altogether, including both nights, not pre-shows, WrestleMania 36 in general was 6.5 hours long. Oh boy. A lot of wrestling to talk about, a lot of storylines that happened, a lot of things. There were some things I liked, something I did not like about the show. I definitely preferred Night 2 over Night 1. There was one point in Night 1 last night, to be honest, guys, where I was this close to shutting off the show. Going into this WrestleMania, I wasn't sure how to feel, be excited about that. Like, personal feelings aside of what was going on with my uncle. I wasn't sure what to think. I was not happy that this WrestleMania was going to be not in front of an audience. Not just because, one, I feel like, the shows aren't the same without an audience because the wrestlers do their best to play off of the audience's reactions, but also because there's people who are going to be experiencing moments on this show that, like, they would have been much better, even better, to experience if there was an actual audience there, especially in that main event of Night 2, for sure. That was a moment, for sure, that needed to have an audience. And I wouldn't say this show sucked. This show, I'd say again, they did their best. I would say that it's not everyone's fault. I mean, I don't fully hold Vince responsible because we didn't know when we would be making up this show. But at the same time, I still think this show should have just been postponed. To do WrestleMania just to say you do to do it, it's just not the right way to go. It's a show that's meant to celebrate wrestling. And when you have a show that's in the Performance Center Nothing is special about the stage. Everything is the same as if you'd be having Raw or SmackDown or NXT or any of them. It just does not feel special. And I think from doing the live reactions I was able to get some energy, especially for night 2. Night 1, I mean, thank goodness again. Yesterday I was not good to do live reactions yesterday. Thank goodness the matches I wanted to do live reactions for didn't happen until tonight. Um, because last night again, I was this close to shutting off the show. There was things again I liked though, but there was definitely some things I did not like about this show. But we'll get into it and we'll talk about it for sure. So, moving on to the first night. Well, first let's check the live chat. See, we got in the live chat first before we get started. We got 5 people saying right now. We have Tyler. What's up, Tyler? Saying hallelujah. Drew is the effing WWE champion for sure. He's gonna review this show too. Nice. Oh, that sucks, man. For sure, and Biker Taker came back as well. Surprisingly, I did enjoy that Boneyard match, despite the fact I wish AJ would have won. That's another thing too, especially about night 1. There was a lot of finishes I did not like, which I will talk about that. Hey Lauren, I'm surprised you're here. I knew you were catching up. Night 2 was so much better than night 1. That's for sure. Let me see here. I'm sorry about your uncle. Thank you very much, Lauren. It was so weird. Braun winning the Universal Championship was a feel good moment. I was mixed about this. We'll get to that in a little bit. Best matches were definitely Orton, Edge, and Rhea and Charlotte. I definitely agree. Who do you think will challenge Drew, Bayley, Charlotte, and Goldberg? And Goldberg's not even wrestling anymore right now. I'm not too sure. I haven't really thought that far ahead. I'm still kind of hoping WWE goes on a break, even though they advertised Money in the Bank for next month. I think it's stupid. She just finished watching. What's up, Mark? I only have one problem with Drew winning the title. How long before Brock comes for it? That is very true. We'll talk about that, of course. What's up, TN Couponer? Firefly Funhouse match was something else. I think I'm still speechless about that Firefly Funhouse match. Firefly Funhouse was weird for sure, and then night 1 was a C, and night 2 was a B+. Okay, good choices there, guys. But I'll talk about night 1 first, then check the live chat, then talk about night 2, and we will go from there. So, first match from night 1 on the pre-show was added. It was a match with Drew Gulak and Cesaro. I didn't watch this match, so I cannot grade it. All I know is that Cesaro won the match. So hopefully it was kind of one of those matches like he had with Ilya Dragunov or Sami Zayn. I wouldn't say I wouldn't expect it to be a classic level match, but hopefully a match that just made Drew Gulak look strong. We'll hopefully see. I don't know. Again, I'm not gonna go back and watch it, but that's all I know is that Cesaro won the match. And of course, for both nights, we had an announcement from Stephanie McMahon to hype up the show, and we had a couple video packages as well before we actually got to the actual show, which did take up about 10 minutes each night. So let's get into the first match of the main show, which for night 1, it was the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match. It was Asuka and Kairi Sane, the Kabuki Warriors, taking on the team of Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. This match was what it was to me. My thing though was why are the Kabuki Warriors dropping the tag titles right back to the team they took them from back in October with absolutely no story other than the fact that Asuka and Kairi Sane have not really had many cross-branded matches. I think the last time they actually defended their titles on a different brand was when they defended them against Dakota Kai and Tegan Nox in NXT right before they split those two up. So I mean, this match was okay. I wouldn't say it was just average, just like a match you'd see in on Raw or something. I didn't really find it too spectacular. Kairi took the pin, and again, I didn't really care too much for it. Again, I just didn't understand, okay, why aren't we building up someone else to take the titles off of the Kabuki Warriors? To me, it just it just doesn't make any sense. It's just a back and forth thing. There's no story. At least if, like, Ronda Rousey would come back and take the title off of Becky Lynch or something, I feel like there was an actual story, in my opinion, because of course the botched finish one. There's actually something interesting there. Here, there was nothing. It was just a random tag title match thrown together, which titles that I still think should not even exist whatsoever, unfortunately. Um, so so yeah, that's what I gotta say about um, so that's what all I gotta say about this match. The next match, which I'm very surprised they didn't just save this for night 2 for like a random filler match, because I feel like, I mean, even though I felt they saved the better stuff for night 2, night 1 could have used something else, I feel. The second match was the match with Baron Corbin and Elias. Guys, I'm still asking this question to this day. Why in the world was this on the show? This is either a pre-show match. This is not even WrestleMania pre-show worthy. And then they had that dumb story where they had Elias knocked off the top of that porch. Oh my goodness, he may not make it till WrestleMania. And to me, I'm thinking, well, at first when they had Corbin come out, I'm thinking, maybe it's WrestleMania. Maybe WWE will actually, surprise us. And maybe someone will make a surprise appearance to take out Corbin or something like that. Maybe Kurt Angle will come back and get his comeuppance and get Corbin to tap out or something like that. Or maybe, like The Rock will show up. Okay, it's too high. Or, someone else that we actually would like to see show up to definitely, help us, heal. Or definitely, definitely give us something to remember from this WrestleMania. That, again, is in front of absolutely nobody. Instead, Elias just came out. They had the match. This match was 15 minutes? I don't know, but it felt super long. I did not care, and I am just why? Why is this even a thing? It was so dumb. It was just so pointless. Elias won as I expected. He did win, right? Because it's been a while since I saw it. But yeah, this was stupid. This was absolute. Oh yeah, sorry. Elias won by holding on by pulling up the tights. Why couldn't he just beat Corbin clean? Why did he have to pull up the tights? Now, well, however much longer tapings are going to happen, apparently they're going to be going on now. I don't know where, because Money in the Bank apparently is still being advertised next month. I thought that was canceled. Now we're going to hear Corbin crying again like a baby for next month, going, Elias was being a meanie. He pulled on my tights. He gave me a big wedgie. Again, it's going to be crying for no reason again whatsoever, and it's annoying as hell. So, I don't care. I hated this match. It was definitely my least favorite match on the card. So that's it for this match. Let me see here. Which one was next? Oh, talk about a letdown. This next match, well, although I'd say the match itself was good, this was one of those matches that I hated the finish. Oops. Wait. Oh, shoot. Are you kidding me? Hang on one second here. I don't have the correct graphic. That's my fault. I selected the tag title one by mistake. My fault. I literally rearranged these. There we go. Here we go. That's much better, right, guys? Please give me a thumbs up if that's much better. Anyways, so the next match to me was kind of a letdown. It's Becky Lynch taking on Shayna Baszler for the Raw Women's Championship. I don't know if they were just doing this to further on the story, or because I've heard some rumors that Vince really hasn't been too impressed with Shayna Baszler. So this match happened. It was, I'd say Shayna for most part did her part being, physical and being brutal on Becky. Not as bad as much as I'd hoped, but I still thought it was there. The dominance was there. But Becky won. She won by just, roll up. To me, it was the same booking that happened between Ember Moon and Shayna Baszler back at NXT TakeOver Philadelphia. And I'm just like, why? It's like, my thing is, again, I love Becky. We all love Becky. unfortunately, I'm starting to see a lot of people turn on her. And to me, it's not her fault. Like, Becky's done her job. The thing is one, I'm pretty sure WWE knows that nobody can top what Becky Lynch was able to do a year ago. And I think if Vince thinks he takes the title off of her, or will take the title off of her, it's not going to work because there's really nobody who's capable of, being, of one-upping her. I think Shayna could, in some ways, Shayna Baszler could play that role well. Like, when she first won the NXT Women's Championship at NXT, she just walked around and she felt she owned the place. Like, she was like the Voldemort. Like, whenever in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, when Voldemort thought he had officially killed Harry, and he went back, he basically acted like he thought that, he had, claimed all this territory. That's exactly what Shayna Baszler can do. Run roughshod through there, and then when the right person comes along, then be the one to take the title off of her. Because to me, there is absolutely nobody else. There's nobody else really I feel that can beat Becky. What are we going to do? Bring back Nia Jax and have her beat Becky? No. But I don't know. I just I was just disappointed by this. Yes, I thought, the match itself was alright, but the finish, I was just like head scratch afterwards. Like, why? Like, why have her be so dominant in the chamber just for this to happen? Like, I feel like, like they just did this as a pushover to extend the feud. Or, as I keep saying with this bad booking, I'm not trying to be, that mark or an idiot. It wouldn't surprise me if WWE has just tried to, sabotage Becky in some way. Because she got over on her own. And how dare you get over on your own in WWE? Because what happens? They try to justify it to make it look like that they made you who you are. And unfortunately, that is not the case. So, I don't know, guys. I was left disappointed by this, unfortunately. So that's one match I did not like the finish to. Which match was next? You talk about being disappointed. I think if anything, this next match I felt disappointed me much more than the others. And my thing was I said my prediction is this match I felt could go either way as far as where it could be either really good or really bad. And to me, it was pretty bad. Sami Zayn versus Daniel Bryan for the Intercontinental Championship. Last night I tweeted towards Vince McMahon, what is your problem? What do you have against Sami Zayn actually wrestling? Why does he have to act like to me, no offense, he's coming across no more than Michael Cole. I know I was comparing him to Enzo Amore, but to me, he's like Michael Cole. He can't actually wrestle Michael Cole can't wrestle. Sami Zayn can wrestle, but he was avoiding any type of action at all costs for about 80% of this match. Until Daniel Bryan finally got him in and just started beating the holy crap out of him. Sami barely does any offense. What is cardinal sin that Sami Zayn can't wrestle a match? This should be a dream match. I'm pretty sure at some point years ago when Sami Zayn actually wrestled and actually was amazing in the ring as they didn't water him down and transport him from the lovable charismatic babyface to just this big mouth heel that just runs away from everyone and trips and has that stupid hairstyle that someone on Twitter even had a photo and compared it to the shot of Marv from Home Alone with the imprint of the iron on his face, basically. This guy is nothing but someone to appear on screen for Vince McMahon to laugh his ass off at, unfortunately. And this match, I said in my preview predictions, Sami won, as I thought, Sami could probably use this win more than Bryan, but to me, he didn't make himself look good in this match, and to be honest, he made Bryan look pretty foolish. I'm sorry, I did not like this. This should have been a match where Sammy could have been, yes, okay, he could have been, trying to avoid anything at first, but not as hardcore as he was. This should have been that match, like, bring that back. Bring back that Sami Zayn wrestling ability we all know he has. And instead, they had him just literally hide behind Cesaro, hide behind Shinsuke, run like an idiot, fall for no reason whatsoever, and just get beat up before one minor distraction. He just hits a haluva kick. Literally a Carmella match when Carmella was SmackDown Women's Champion. Because literally the only thing Carmella was able to do was a super kick or run away like a coward. And that is not Sami Zayn one bit whatsoever. I want to just drag Vince by the ear, sit him down on a chair, in a chair, any type of chair, and I just want to basically show him Sami Zayn and Cesaro, NXT arrival, Sami Zayn and Neville from NXT TakeOver Our Evolution. The matches with Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn and Shinsuke Nakamura for NXT TakeOver Dallas, the Fatal 4-Way at TakeOver Fatal 4-Way, and whoever else he has faced. Him and Tyler Breeze had a match I wanted to take over, as I remember. This man is incredible in the ring, excellent on the mic, and incredible on the ring. In the ring, I'm sorry. But yet, you've limited him to this. And you have him go out and pull this crap at WrestleMania. I'm sitting there and I'm just like, what the, this is where I started losing faith in this show. Completely. I mean, if it wasn't for me seeing the matches that were left for night 2, again, this is not what I will tell you when we get to the match when I was this close to turning the show off. And this match, I mean, I expected, Elias and King Corbin to be bad. I was disappointed with Becky and Shayna. This match, I felt, was the biggest disappointment for me for the night. Because this is not, or for this weekend, because this is not Sami Zayn. I think Mark said it in the live chat a couple streams ago. I miss the old Sami Zayn. And I'm sure we all do. One that was actually allowed to wrestle in the ring. If he's still a heel, awesome. But still keep him as a freaking awesome wrestler. He doesn't. Not every single heel in the world has to be a cowardly chicken shit heel. I mean, yes, I get it. Sami Zayn's no Brock Lesnar. Sami Zayn's no Braun Strowman. He's not some big, strong dude that looks like a killer, as he said, in the podcast with him and Kevin Owens on Talk is Jericho. But he could still be a good heel without looking like an idiot out there. I don't know, guys. I was just... I think of all the matches that made me angry, this is the one that really aggravated me the most. So, that's going to do it for that match. The next match was actually modified a little bit because of the coronavirus. The next match was originally supposed to be a triple threat tag team ladder match for the tag team championships, for the SmackDown tag titles. It was supposed to be Miz and Morrison, hey, ho ho, taking on the... First off, I should be able to have the microphone for this. Miz and Morrison, hey, ho ho, or and the New Day, Big E and Kofi Kingston, and the Usos. But unfortunately, because the Miz was sick and got quarantined, he was not able to be at WrestleMania. So instead, they just made this a triple threat match with one member from each team in a ladder match for the SmackDown tag titles. And this was a good ladder match. You can always put a ladder match on the show, and I'd say most of the time, it's going to at least give you a solid to good match. And I thought that's what it was. This is a good match. Some crazy bumps across the ladders. One that stands out to me is the one time they were outside, and I think Jimmy Uso was on the barricade, and Kofi just picked up a ladder, whooped it around, and just whacked Jimmy off the barricade. It was an awesome spot. There was one time also where John Morris did a corkscrew Starship Press, whatever the heck it's called, on whoever was on top of the ladder there as well, which was nice. What I didn't like about this match, though, once again, was the finish. All three were on ladders on the top, basically all holding on to the titles, and one of them, I can't remember who it was, unhooked, the thing on top that's holding the titles. Whenever Randy Orton won the WWE and World Heavyweight Championship at TLC in 2013, he didn't just take the titles off of the ledge. He took off of the hook. He took the hook off of the actual hook as well. Um, so that happened. All three of them were holding on to them, and then John Morrison falls off the ladder. But what we didn't know is that Morrison had pulled the titles off of the hook and fell down, and the titles went with him. So at first it looks like, what the heck happened? Kofi and Jimmy were holding on to the hook, and the titles aren't there. I'm like, what the? And then they revealed John Morrison had the titles down below, and I'm just like really, that's really it's one of those cliche finishes that I feel like, I don't think the exact one's been overdone, but the whole idea of them doing cliche finishes like that, where a freak accident happens, or something freak, oh, a man won the women's Money in the Bank briefcase, or oh, they the way they both land on top of each other, the way the other person lay their arm on there and took the pinfall, or these little things that they look so creative, to me just look so freaking cliche, and to me it's just a Vince McMahon humor thing. And I saw that, I'm just like, you could have had some fun spot, why is John Morrison just relegated down to this? I mean, him and Miz as a tag team, I do like them, but to me it's like, I wasn't watching when the last time he was in, but it's like, are you just limiting him to just another joke again like he did before? I don't know. I just, that finish just took me out. I mean, the match itself was still good, definitely one of the better matches from night one. But then I'm just sitting there, I'm just like, why? I just didn't like the finish. The match was good. Miz and Morris said, hey, oh ho, retain the tag titles. So I don't know, like Becky Lynch, I don't know who's going to fight them next. Quite frankly, I don't care. So that's that match. The next match was, okay, the halfway point through this match, here's where I almost turned off this show. I'm not even joking. I was this close to turning off the show halfway through this match. Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. The match was good. The match was going pretty good. I thought it was nice. It was good. Of course, I hear the trash talk. Both these guys are excellent when it comes to trash talking. I knew this was definitely going to be one of the stronger matches of the weekend. However, what pissed me off at first, because I'm dead serious, guys, because I had to plug in my laptop to watch stuff on my TV. I had my mouse in one hand, I had my remote in the other. The match originally ended with a disqualification because Seth Rollins grabbed the ring bell and started consistently smashing it into Kevin Owens' face, ending it by disqualification. And I'm like, really? Even though, of course, the last 2 weeks, each of these guys have had excellent promos, you drag this out for 5 months to lead to a freaking DQ finish. I was hot, and I was this close between the emotions I was feeling last night, and with just the fact that obviously the audience not there, this didn't feel the same. But then again, that was 3 matches in a row. I absolutely hated the finish, and when that happened, I was this close to turning off this show. I can't tell you when I've ever felt ready to turn off a show. But then Kevin Owens grabbed the microphone and he said, "I thought you said you were a god at WrestleMania. What's this? If you want to play that way, fine. I will stoop down to your level. Let's have a no disqualification match. No rules." And then Rollins is like, "Kev, why are you doing this to yourself? You really think you can?" So the match continues. It doesn't really go on for too long afterwards, but the match continues. Again, this was good. But of course, the spot that everyone's talking about, the part that I felt just got me to pop and kind of got me that energy back a little bit, was when Kevin Owens went behind. Well, first, as soon as the bell rang, to restart the match, he was attacking Rollins with that bell, and he had got a good amount of offense in. Rollins had got a lot in as well. But my favorite spot, for sure, was when Owens climbed up that WrestleMania sign behind the announce table. Which, by the way, also, I forgot to mention, Michael Cole and JBL were on commentary. For night one, Michael Cole and JBL were on commentary. Tom Phillips and Byron Saxton were night two. But yeah, JBL was on commentary. And that just made me even more happier. That was total sarcasm. But anyways, Owens climbed up to the top of the WrestleMania sign and jumped off it and did an elbow drop on top of Rollins. Rolled him back in the ring, hit him with the stunner, and Owens wins the match. Definitely made up for that finish. Other than that finish, I really enjoyed what these two did in the ring. And mission accomplished. I felt Kevin Owens could have used a really big win at WrestleMania. Yes, it was not in front of a crowd. I'm sure the reactions would have been excellent for this match, especially with the storytelling happening and Rollins trying to take the easy way out with a DQ. But yeah, Kevin Owens getting a big win at WrestleMania, definitely needed. So that's that match. After this, we see R-Truth in between the hosts of WrestleMania, Rob Gronkowski and Mojo Rawley. He needs help hiding and doesn't have to defend his 24/7 title. But he's like, wait a minute, what am I doing here? So then Mojo and Gronk beat him down. Gronk tries to score a pinfall victory, but then Mojo pulled him off and then went for the pin to win the 24/7 title on his own. And then that kind of let the little tension between him and Gronk. We also get a segment with Paul Heyman hyping up Drew McIntyre for the main event match for night 2. But anyway, speaking of world championships, the next match, which I thought was going to be the main event, was not the main event. Next match is Goldberg versus Braun Strowman for the Universal Championship. No story, just that Braun Strowman was in this match. Didn't really address anything else or a reason to build us up about. But yeah, Braun was just in this match just cause. No story. And funny thing was my stream crashed. So I actually did not really see this match. But all I know is Goldberg, it was just a finisher fest. Goldberg hit a couple spears, Braun kicked out, and then Braun hit a couple running power slams, and that was how he won the match. So basically, he squashed Goldberg, the same man who squashed The Fiend. How does that make The Fiend look? I don't know. It was... And Braun wins. Finally, but I just feel it's too late for him. It's too late, and I didn't care. This did nothing. This didn't make the Universal title feel any more prestige than it did when Goldberg had it. It felt prestige when The Fiend had it, but then they had to ruin that by putting it on Goldberg for no reason. And then look what happened. Again, what they should have done in this situation, they should have made Cena and Wyatt's match for the number one contendership and that be the main event of this show. Well, even though the main event of night 1 was actually pretty good. But instead he just threw it on Strowman. So it's like, okay, now he's good enough to be Universal Champion when no one else is able to. Okay, we'll put the title on Braun now. It's too late, and I'm sorry, I just do not care, unfortunately. But who knows? I mean, I love Braun Strowman, but of course, he has recently said trash some indie wrestlers on Twitter, which he apparently did apologize for, but I think he didn't really publicly apologize. But who knows? Who the heck knows? So then we get to our main event of night one. It was the Boneyard match between AJ Styles and The Undertaker. I was not really looking forward to this, but I actually did enjoy this. Even though AJ Styles did not win, I felt he needed the win more, but I still thought him and Taker were excellent in this match. Of course, this was the first match that was not actually filmed inside the ring at the Performance Center. And it was actually at like an actual graveyard. So a hearse is pulling up and Taker's theme music is playing. They open up a casket inside there, and it was AJ Styles. He laughing about it. So he's waiting for Undertaker to arrive. Undertaker arrives as the American Badass on a motorcycle, and they're basically just trashing each other, just beating each other up around around the whole place. And then Undertaker throws AJ into the dug hole right by the covered tombstone. Well, then he turns around and he's getting ready to bury AJ, because the winner had it was basically a buried alive match in an actual graveyard. But then out came Gallows and Anderson, and they basically was like, bring it on, and then a bunch of druds, or whatever they are, like came out of nowhere and surrounded Taker. He beat them all down, and then he was about to get the upper hand on Gallows and Anderson when all of a sudden, bam, from behind. I'm not sure if he used like a tombstone or what he used, but he just basically just took out Taker, and I'm like, oh boy. So he then has Gallows and Anderson help him get Taker into the tomb, and he's on the thing getting ready to bury him alive when all of a sudden lights flash, and basically this whole match Taker basically played most of his personas, where if he was the Dead Man or the American Badass or the Minister of Darkness or whatever the heck it was, he basically like rose and was right behind AJ on the tractor, and he basically beat him down. Styles went running though and climbed on top of the roof of one of this building nearby, and then Gallows and Anderson got on top also. Taker fought them off 2-on-1. I can't remember what he did with Gallows. I think he tombstoned Anderson, and then Styles, when it came down to just him and Styles, he then took Styles and choke slammed him off of the roof down to the ground. He got there, and like AJ's like saying like, I'm sorry, I'm begging you, don't bury me. He goes, dude, you put on quite a tough fight with me, you're all good. So it looked like Taker was going to let AJ go, but then he turns around as a big boot, knocks him in, and then turns on the thing and buries AJ alive. And all you see, of course, is AJ's hand sticking out of the dirt. He gets back on his bike, rides away, and that's how night one ended. I definitely think AJ should have won this, for sure. But I still was very impressed with what they did with this. The storytelling they did with, the atmosphere, the shots, like, even also when Taker got on his bike, also the special effects, Taker put like his arm up like, in victory, and like the house behind him that of course he'd thrown AJ off the roof from, I just caught on fire, and it was sick. I'd say like, the production wise, like as a wrestling match, it was what it was. But if as like a cinematic, movie thing or whatnot, it was awesome. And it was like something different, and it was something that kept you intrigued to see what's going on. Like the story was in there, I thought. Again, I just wish AJ would have won, but I gotta give it credit. It was pretty awesome to watch. So that was it for night one. Like I said, most of the matches on night one, the biggest thing that bothered me was the finish. Okay, the women's tag title match was what it was. Elias and Corbin was awful. I I was disappointed by the end up to Becky and Shayna. Um, Sammy and Bryan, I think, was the biggest disappointment for me. Um, and then of course there was um oh shoot, the finish to the ladder match. I like the ladder match though. Um, gosh, I've lost my train of thought. What was after that? Oh gosh, I literally just completely drew a blank. I'm so sorry, guys. What was before the Universal Championship? Oh yes, Owens and Rollins was good except for that when they did that DQ finish, but they wiped that away. Dud for Universal Championship match, and then the Boneyard match for Styles and Taker. Again, wish AJ would have won, but it was still awesome. Let's take a break. Check the live chat. Do the second half. Let me see where we were at. I think we have a lot to catch up on. Thank you all for staying tuned in here. Where were we at? Oh, I think we were right here. Lauren meant to say Braun before, and Mark said, sorry about your uncle. Thank you very much, Mark, for your thoughts. Don't forget to smash the like button. Thank you, T and Couponer. Charlotte didn't need to win. Sammy has Enzo go away heat. Doesn't that make Sammy number one contender for Braun's new title? I guess if he beat him, who knows. Not every match needs to be on the card, for sure. What do you think Bianca being on the main roster now with Montez, her husband? We'll talk about that when we get to that match. Last night was kind of boring. Tyler gave night 1 a D, night 2 a C+. Those are fair grades. Marcus, I just hope we don't get a repeat of last year of the men's Money in the Bank match. Oh, please don't remind me. I don't need that. Please don't. Kind of surprised and disappointed Nikki and Alexa won. Why? Again, I don't. Again, it was just to me. I didn't understand. There was no story, and why just have you build up the Kabuki Warriors as like a dominating tag team. Why have them just drop the titles back for just randomly drop the titles back to the team, took them off them. I just didn't really dig that storytelling at all. Let me see here. Thought Money in the Bank was canceled. Same, but they advertised it tonight. Alexa, Nikki versus Trish and Lita, Sasha and Bayley, or Natty and Beth. Okay, those are bad. Those are good opponents. Becky doesn't really have many opponents left. She doesn't. W keeps pushing Alexa. Why? Because she's got blonde hair and she's pretty hot. I was on break during Corbin and Elias, but Corbin's interview was, don't even remember. Again, stupid. Elias versus Corbin on the pre-show, then put Gulak and Cesaro on the main show. I would have rather had that as well. To be honest, Raw is a better brand in everything, Raw is definitely better than SmackDown, I'll give them that, but it's not the strongest brand, I'd say. I think Baszler gets a rematch whenever the virus goes away. Again, I think it's going to be what they did, the same booking they did with Ember Moon and Shayna Baszler, unless, again, Vince just gave up on her. Heard they pre-taped Mania, Raw, and SmackDown. Same here. Apparently I do good impressions again. Yes, will Money in the Bank be live? I have no idea. I think the ending of the Becky match reminds me of Brett versus Austin Survivor Series 96. Vince not into Shayna. She's been dominant. Yeah, I don't even know. Shayna had her finishing move, then Becky countered with the pinball win. Again, exactly how Ember Moon won her match. Didn't feel like Mania for sure. I thought Zayn versus Bryan would have been a hard-hitting wrestling match, but was wrong. Yeah, definitely. Still remember him as El Generico in Ring of Honor and rivalry with Kevin Steen. We need that back. That Raw Tag Team Championship doesn't need to be on the show. Black and Lashley didn't need to be on the show, and Corbin and Elias did not need to be either. I agree, definitely. We could have cut some of those matches out. So, of course, including the pre-show matches, we had 18 matches altogether with this show. She can't stand Rob Gronkowski. Neither am I. I'm not even a football fan. Owens did deserve this win. Why did we make Goldberg champ again? Because he thought Spear versus Spear. Vince thought Spear versus Spear was the best headlining match you can come up with. Maybe Braun won the title. I mean, yes, Braun deserved to be Universal Champion at some point, but to me it's too late. Like, do people even care anymore at this point? And again, you gave it to him when you basically had no other options. Lauren said she's not happy that Braun's champion either. She agreed Wyatt's hand should have been for the title, or at least for the number one contendership. Do you think Vince had control of night 1 and Triple H had control of night 2? I have no idea. How long will Braun hold the title for? That's a good question. I'd say just have just the Fiend beat him and take it back. Let me see here. Styles and Taker deserved to main event night 1 for sure. I think it did work out good for them. T. Jordan Boneyard match. Have you ever noticed since there's no fans, they added more talking to the script? Oh yeah, and of course they still play to the crowd even though there is no crowd. Styles comes back as a face. Tyler saying AJ needed the win, but I'm still a Taker fan as well. Owen goes back to SmackDown. Styles isn't turning face anytime soon. I don't think so, unfortunately. Do you think when AJ comes back, will his character be darker? Kind of hope so. He does need it for sure. What's with WWE bringing families into storylines? It happens. Any picks for Money in the Bank? Haven't really thought of it yet, unfortunately. I don't know if Extreme Rules is happening this year. Love how they made the Boneyard match like a film, definitely. Taker and Styles was the best match of night 1 for sure. Possibly, I mean, as far as like I guess anything in general, like the production, yes. But as far as an actual wrestling match, maybe either the ladder match or Owens and Rollins, maybe. Night 1, best match, Taker versus Styles, worst was Zayn versus Bryan. Most disappointed, Becky and Shayna and Rollins versus Owens. Charlotte is a four women's title reigns away from tying her dad's record. Yeah, if you count all the different women's title reigns, she's won for sure. But thank you for your stuff in the live chat, guys. Let's get on to night 2 for this review. So, apparently we had another pre-show match, and it was Natalya and Liv Morgan. And Liv Morgan won the match. Whatever. I don't know what this is. And then backstage we had apparently Sonya and Dolph trying to think of ways to manipulate Mandy Rose into forgiving them. Graves then says this is proof you should never, ever, under any circumstances, mix business with pleasure. Haha, yeah, you're dating Carmella. So shut up, Graves. So we opened up with one of the more anticipated matches I was excited for, and the first match I did live reactions for. Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair for the NXT Women's Championship. The first time an NXT title was defended at WrestleMania. This is definitely a dream match for mine, and whether the outcome or not happen, I would say, as far as the match itself goes, this was great. This was a great match. It's what I wanted. It's what I needed to see. I felt that this was definitely the best match, maybe except for, the ending to the main event. But this is the best match. I think I did my best live reactions for tonight, which I do thank those who did join me for live reactions tonight, because I definitely had a blast doing it, getting that energy back again with you guys being there and supporting me. But this match was great. The turning point in the match was whenever Rhea went for a big boot, and Charlotte avoided it and then grabbed her and pulled down on Rhea's leg and hyperextended her left knee. And for most of the rest of the match, Charlotte was continuing to target that knee and just make it more weak and weak. And Rhea did everything she could to avoid the figure 8, but then Charlotte hooks in the figure 8. And I start to worry, they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. Or they, Rhea's not going to tap. She can't. Rhea tapped, though. And Charlotte Flair, who's been on the main roster since 2015, is now your new NXT Women's Champion. Again, the match was great. Not sure how I feel about this, though. First off, it would have been nice to see Rhea, kick out of be able to break free from the figure 8 as at least one time. The show, even though with a bad leg, she's still a badass. But also, it's just, here's the thing. If Rhea would have won this match, I feel like anyone in NXT, they'd have to be built up to a whole nother level to beat Rhea. Because Rhea would have beaten, literally I will say this: one of the greatest women's wrestlers of all time. I give Charlotte credit that she is awesome. Even though she does get too many opportunities, she is still awesome at what she does. So this kind of, allows someone else to be built up to like that level without, having Rhea being built up too strong that, how it'd be believable for anybody else to beat her. But also, with how high the WWE is on for Rhea, I feel like she should have had a longer title reign. At least with Charlotte as champion, it will create a lot of fresh matchups, and it does give Charlotte something different to do. Because, like Becky, who does she really have to fight at this point in the main roster? Like, she's fought everybody. So, gives them some star power for NXT. It's going to help build up some women's wrestlers again. But again, why? I don't know. So, I have mixed feelings about Charlotte winning this. It would have been nice to see Rhea get the big win. But, I still thought it was an excellent match. I'm not going to take that away from these two women. These two gave me what I wanted to see. But as far as Charlotte winning, scratch my head on it still. So Charlotte is now your new NXT Women's Champion. It was also her birthday today as well, so happy birthday, Charlotte. The next match, Aleister Black and Bobby Lashley. Lana was out in Lashley's corner. This is the first time in quite a while we have seen Lana. I'll give her one thing. She looked extra sexy in that red dress she wore tonight. Of course, she wasn't the best looking thing that happened on this show. Let me tell you that. We'll get to that soon. But, so, I've been saying for months, Aleister Black needs to have a credible match against a credible opponent at WrestleMania this year. I thought maybe they'll go with him and AJ Styles. Or maybe him and Seth Rollins. Or, I don't know, who else could you really put him up against? So instead, they just randomly throw, or him, if Edge didn't come back, Black and Orton. Aleister Black and Randy Orton is still a match I want to see. They're both on Raw right now. Maybe SummerSlam? I don't know. But Aleister Black instead gets randomly thrown into a match with Bobby Lashley. No story whatsoever. Which is unacceptable for WrestleMania. But even though Bobby Lashley's character is just super flat, I still give him credit and say within the past years, as he kind of eased off of just going out there and just showing off that physique crap, I do think his matches have gotten better. Again, his character is just is gone. Like there's no character to Bobby Lashley whatsoever, other than just being just Lana's bitch, because he basically does whatever Lana tells him to do, no matter what it is. He looks like an idiot. So the thing about this match was Bobby Lashley dominated 90% of this match. Like, Aleister Black didn't really, get much offense in, which was kind of disappointing. And at the end of the match, again, I was also fine with this match until Lana started running her mouth again. And I'm like, oh gosh, why couldn't she just stay quiet for this match and act like she wasn't even there? Because that's when I actually was somewhat, into this. So then the match ends when Lashley's going with a Dominator. Whatever the heck he calls that move where he has you up on his shoulders and he just spins you around, plants you face first to the ground. But then Lana's like, no, spear! Okay, he says, when are you such a big fan of his spear? So he goes to hit the spear on Aleister Black. But instead, Aleister Black hits a black mass out of nowhere. And that's the match. But as soon as the match is over, Bobby Lashley is sitting up like he didn't even sell that sucker. So I'm like, okay, that was just pointless and disappointing. This could have been a pretty physical match. But instead, Lashley dominated most of it. Aleister didn't really do much besides his black mass, and I was left pretty disappointed. So what, now we're going to tease a breakup between Lashley and Lana all over. Oh no, Lana, you told me to do a move and it cost me my match. Just like again, Bobby comes. It's like what is it with this guy? Like when he feud with Sami Zayn, he came out smiling when Sami said the the worst things possible. Yeah, when he said something on the level of like Jinder Mahal making fun of Shinsuke's face, like something on that level, he was angry and just wanted to beat the living piss out of Sami. Just makes no sense. Like what is this guy's character? I don't know. So this was disappointing for sure. It was a waste of time. But we had this next match. Now this next match, I didn't expect the match to knock my socks off, but I expected a moment in this match. We got the moment, but this was definitely one of those matches that was severely hindered by having no audience. Otis versus Dolph Ziggler. Now, I did not notice until I saw this the other day. Dolph Ziggler has been in WWE for a long time, right? This was his first ever one-on-one singles match. Because he's either been in Battle Royales, I think that's all he's been in for the past couple years, or like the Intercontinental Championship ladder matches. He was in tag match with Big E against Team Hell No. I know he was in that mixed tag match with a bunch of people at WrestleMania 27. So this is his first ever one-on-one match at WrestleMania. And again, it's in front of no crowd. Besides that, this needed the crowd. So Sonya Deville came out with Dolph and was in his corner for this match. Because originally it was supposed to be Mandy Rose. But then, of course, with that big reveal on Friday on SmackDown, things changed. And, of course, according to, seeing stuff on social media, Mandy Rose was not in any contact at all with Sonya Deville. So, the match happens. I didn't expect to blow my socks off, but, it was just obviously, these two, Dolph getting his comeuppance. Otis getting his comeuppance on Dolph. Well, towards the end of the match, Sonya decides to try to distract the referee. And when wasn't looking, Dolph does a low blow to Otis. And Otis is down and out. And then Sonya continues trying to get involved. But then Mandy's music hits. And I'm just like, heck yes. She comes out and Sonya is like, just like, I'm sorry. But Mandy just went, BOW! And just bitch slapped her right across the face. And I'm like, yeah, that's what we're talking about. Come on, Otis, get him. And then Mandy gets to the ring and Dolph's like, what are you doing here? And she's like, you ruined everything. Pow! Low blows Dolph right there. So Dolph is down. And then Otis is up, getting ready. Mandy's in his corner now. And he hits the Caterpillar, does an elbow drop, and I'm thinking, this should be awesome. But then I forget that there's no crowd. And 1, 2, 3, Otis wins the match, but oh gosh, it's like the excitement was there, but in like the moment like reality just set in with me, I'm just like, there's no crowd, that's right. Like this should have been, the crowd would have exploded for this. Exploded! Otis beat the match, and to top it all off, even though I'm a big jealous SOB right now of this man, he won the girl. He got Mandy. Mandy got in the ring, held Otis's arm up for him winning the match, and then jumped into his arms like whenever Otis caught Mandy when she fell out, when she was knocked off the ring, and he caught her, and they kissed. And I'm like, damn it, you lucky SOB. There's Otis, the most unluckiest human being from the past few months, got his heart broken on Valentine's Day, wins the girl that I'm sure any guy would dream of. Like, look at Mandy. I keep saying how many times, one of the sexiest blondes I've ever laid eyes on. Literally had the perfect dress on and everything. She looked amazing. And Otis wins the girl. He gets to kiss her, and I'm just like, damn it, you lucky SOB. But of course, it was like Dolph Ziggler doing that. I'm just like, ugh. But Otis, it's like the guy was likable. He's an awesome talent. He's funny, and he was just the right baby face to have like this wrestling moment and to win the girl. And this is meant to be more of like a lower card feud, but it was one of the best storylines built to WrestleMania and one of the best moments of the show for sure. Like, people are comparing this to when Savage and Elizabeth reunited at WrestleMania in their match, but dang it, like Otis, you lucky son of a gun. I am so jealous of you, man, but I'm also happy for you. So Otis wins the match, and he also wins Mandy Rose. And Mandy Rose also is a babyface too, which I will try to do a turn alert either after this stream or sometime tomorrow. So yep, Otis wins the girl. Awesome. Happy for him. And once again, I was super jealous, but that's it. Anyways, so then, here's another good match to talk about for sure. I know some people apparently don't feel the same way. I know there was a lot of people on Twitter saying that they actually wasn't too impressed with this match, but I enjoyed it. Last man standing, Edge versus Randy Orton. I thought this was a brutal, slightly long, but awesome match. Again, my first one-on-one match I get to see Edge have. His second match he wrestled. His first match back in 9 years was at the Royal Rumble. This is his first one-on-one match, though, since WrestleMania 27 when he fought Alberto Del Rio for the World Heavyweight Championship. And I love this match. Edge came out. He's all ready to go, waiting for Orton to come out. I'm like, he's going to hit an RKO out of nowhere, isn't it? Well, that son of a gun was dressed up in all black, and he comes out. He was actually the cameraman, hits an RKO out of nowhere on him, and he hits one or two RKOs to really test the neck of Edge, see what it is, and obviously he kept him down, but he got up, and then I'm like, oh, I thought this was gonna be filmed like elsewhere, not just inside the ring. Well, it went all over the place. It went all over the Performance Center, going into different gyms, to conference rooms, to garages. Never made it outside. I thought it would, but of course, there was one spot at the beginning of the match, whenever they were in one of the first gym areas, where Orton was choking Edge, and some people were starting to say this reminds you of something specific, and I know what you're thinking of, but there was a lot of use of weapons in this match. Ladders, the weights, the machines, trunks, and all their stuff. These guys just went all over the place. This was a personal, all-out bloodbath fight, and that's what it needed to be. And yes, again, it was slightly too long. I'll admit that, but it was awesome to see. The storytelling was awesome. Again, these guys just beat the hell out of each other, where they smashed each other also into posters of terrible WWE pay-per-views we saw in the hallways. They did knock over a cameraman, I think, in the hallway one time. I thought was awesome. They even made their way back to that conference room where Gargano and Ciampa's brawl started a couple weeks ago on NXT. Excuse me. There was a spot also in the conference room also where Orton was laying on the table, and then Edge held onto like the chain link fence like right above the table. He dropped himself on top of him to hit that elbow drop. He even also jumped off the top of like a chain link cage also, and did an elbow drop on Orton to the table as well. Orton had some sick sadistic moments in this match as well, hitting that DDT on Edge on top of that truck cover as well. He also went to smash like that little set thing that you would set your weights in, and try to smash Edge into that as well, which looked sick. There was one time I remember he actually smashed him into like a glass wall. I'm surprised the wall didn't break, but Again, it was all over the place. The It came down to, though, they were on top of an NXT trailer, brawling up there. Orton had an RKO. Edge had a spear. Obviously, that was not enough. Orton, though, climbed after hitting the RKO, and it didn't keep Edge down. But Edge did fall down again whenever he got back up, was able to break it. But then Orton made his way back down. I'm like, oh man, I thought someone was going to be like thrown off the top of that trailer. But Orton instead went down. And at first he spined that big tall ladder. I'm like, oh, he's going to do something from that ladder, isn't he? But instead, there were chairs. Now, earlier in the match, and when they got to that garage area, there were old WrestleMania chairs. And I thought, oh, maybe we're going to do the concerto. There's going to be some sort of concerto done in this match. But Orton grabs the chairs then. He makes his way up top. He is getting Edge set up for the concerto. And of course, you hear him saying throughout the match, I told you I loved you when this is that, blah, blah, blah. So then Orton's about to get ready for the concerto on Edge. But then Edge just gets up and puts Orton in that like rear naked choke submission or whatever the heck it is that he put into MVP a couple weeks ago. And basically just like, faded Orton down. And he set him up with the concerto. Edge grabbed the chair. And he got emotional. I loved that part. Him obviously shown, even though, yes, Randy made things personal between him. Yes, Randy tried taking the second chance away from him. Yes, Randy even said his kid's name, saying that he loves Edge's kids much more than Beth Phoenix, Edge's wife, does. Obviously, the emotions got there, but again, obviously Edge still showed that soft spot. He didn't want to do this to Orton, a man who's like his brother. He had loved, but he knew this was personal. He knew he had to finish it. And he even told the referee to stop the count. He wanted to see the moment. But he wanted to, be able to, have the right emotion. And then it was just like, not identically, but it was kind of like that sorry, I love you moment, but I have to do this. Then, bam! He hits a concerto on Orton. Orton doesn't move, is out cold. Edge wins the match. And of course, afterwards, he gets down and kind of shows, a little bit of an emotional side, showing that, hey, I beat the hell out of you, but I still love you, man, basically. Excellent storytelling by these two. Just an amazing return feud for Edge. The build was awesome. Orton, again, was literally at his best with this entire build. The match, he was a king with. Edge, again, has not missed a beat at all. I mean, again, I know it was slightly a little bit long, but again, this was awesome. I mean, yes, again, a crowd would have definitely made this even better, but again, this was great. This was amazing, and for me waiting for that moment to see those moments to see Edge live in person. Again, I got not live in person, but like live in actual time. Rumble was awesome, and this match with Orton, I thought was great as well. People have your opinions, but this was definitely one of the best matches from the entire weekend, I shall say. Edge, Orton, last man standing. Yes, slight bit too long, but it was awesome. And a great match to do live reactions for. Then we kind of toned down a little bit, because the next match was for the Raw Tag Team Championship match. It was the Street Profits taking on Angel Garza and Austin Theory. Match was what it was. Wasn't anything too special. It felt like a match. It just felt like a typical Raw match. The Street Profits would win, but afterwards, Angel Garza and Austin Theory would then just randomly start attacking the Street Profits, and then they set up Montez Ford for Zelina Vega to kick him in the face. So I'm like, wait a second, is she? And yep, Bianca Belair's Bianca Belair, who is Montez Ford's real life wife, came out and took out Zelina Vega. So this might be a face turn for Bianca. This may be a call to the main roster for her. I'm not sure, but this is one I'm going to wait on. I'm going to wait on this. I mean, Mandy Rose, I'm definitely doing the turn alert for either tonight or whatnot. Um, but I want to give it one more night to see if this is just like a one-off thing, or if Bianca actually is going to be on the main roster long term. We'll see. But this was what it was. But you want to talk about this horrible though? Well, first let me make sure. I know there was some point in this show. Um, it's not being shown, but there was a point in the show also where Gronk won the 24/7 title, and basically he went off and celebrated, and Titus O'Neil took over for Gronk. But this next match, what the? Oh frick! I see what I did wrong. Guys, I am so sorry. I messed this whole thing up. I messed all these graphics up. This is my fault. This is my fault. I'm sorry. Let me re-add this image. I messed up these graphics. This is my fault, guys. I'm sorry. Where is it? I hate that I did this. Here we go. Alright. I gotta readjust this sucker. So you guys can get behind the scenes look at me getting these graphics right. Anyways, so this next match, oh god, this was awful. This fatal 5-way elimination match. Bayley, Sasha Banks, Naomi, Lacey Evans, and Tamina was just absolute trash. First off, you have Tamina in there. Why is she in there? How did she earn this title opportunity? She's only wrestled like 2 matches in the past year, yet she gets 1 title opportunity. Everyone teams up on her and takes her out of the match. Then it comes down to basically Bayley and Sasha taking on Lacey and Naomi. They get Naomi out of there. And then basically it's Lacey taking on Bayley and Sasha. Well, then Sasha's holding Lacey for Bayley to be able to take her out, but then Lacey gets out of the way, and then Sasha, gets hit with Bayley's attack by accident. And of course, all cliche, how could you do this to me and whatnot? It's like it's an accident, those other cliche bookings. But then basically, Lacey Evans would then eliminate Sasha Banks by hitting a women's right. But Bayley just sat there and watched Sasha get eliminated. What sense did that make? And then, from that point, I was convinced. I was very convinced that Lacey Evans was going to win this. And I'm like, why? Because she's lost to Becky how many times? In the end, Sasha came back out, even though she was already pissed at Bayley, and helped. And when a referee was distracted, hit the backstabber on Lacey, and then Bayley set up the win. So what was the point of this match? What did it do for anybody? Nobody. Nothing. This was just awful. Like, I know Bayley can be good as a heel, but it's kind of like with Becky, except Bayley actually didn't have anything legit built up for her for people to take her seriously as a heel. She's literally just that weak champion, unfortunately. And again, she has nobody to work with. Nothing is making her look good. I mean, her and Sasha feuding would be great, even though I don't think either one of them should be turning face right now. Oh gosh, it was stupid. It was pointless. Like, why couldn't this just be Bayley and Sasha? And again, the story's not panning out well. Bayley's a heel because she's under Sasha's dark cloud, yet she feels like she's overpowering Sasha. It's just not working. It's not. It's dumb. I hate it. It's stupid. Whatever. I hated this match. I did not care. So then, because I dummy me, I messed these up again. So let me fix this. Where's the graphic for the next match? Where is it? Here we are. break down here, and then shrink this there. Again, guys, I do apologize for this. I do not like messing things up with my streams. Anyways, so the next match, I still don't know what to say about this match. The Firefly Funhouse match with John Cena and Bray Wyatt. So, first it was weird. They actually have John Cena coming out to make his entrance. But then they have, just some weird vignette thing and basically cut to the Firefly Funhouse of basically Bray Wyatt welcoming John Cena to the Firefly Funhouse. And then Bray Wyatt goes into that door, that one door he's always standing right in front of. And then, out of the blue, John Cena just randomly appears there, which I'm like, okay, how did he get there? And then, Rambling Rabbit just told him that, Bray's waiting for you, just go through that door. So Cena goes through the door, and he's in this dark room. And I was expecting them to just start brawling inside a dark room or something like that. Instead, though, this kind of turned into, like, a big... The best I can describe, because, like, if you saw my live reactions, this was not good. I hate to say this, but I should not have done live reactions for this, because this was more of, like, a mind game segment than an actual match. So, basically, Bray Wyatt appeared in a ring, and they basically started, reenacting like different stages of John Cena's career, and of course Bray Wyatt, playing on this history between the two of them, going back to reenacting Kurt Angle and John Cena when John Cena debuted, and then every time he said ruthless aggression, he went to go punch Bray, but Bray would get out of the way. It did like 3 or 4 times, and then I guess they pulled him off, and then I guess they went into this. They did like some type of some random workout thing. They were working out behind a cage, and to me it was like, I'm thinking like, did John Cena get like a Horcrux in him or something like that, like a part of Bray Wyatt's soul or something like that, and so it was just so goofy, but I'm like, I guess this works. I mean, we're supposed to be like, what the hell is this? I didn't hate it, but I'm just like, this is hard to comprehend what's going on here. John Cena was the doctor of Thugonomics, and then of course he talked trash to Bray, but then Bray, punched his lights out, and then he started like, basically, reverting back to, the mistake that Cena made, back at WrestleMania. But then it looks like he got a whole... And then Bray Wyatt, like, appeared again, like, kind of like as he did when he was, the Leaders of Worlds and, Sister Abigail and whatnot. And he goes to beat down Cena. And Cena starts beating the ever-living crap out of him. But then I felt like here was the turning point. Then Bray had mysteriously disappeared and instead appeared Huskus the Pig, or whatever heck it's called. And then I think that's where, like, obviously Bray had won the mind games that time. He had given Cena a chair saying, here's your chance to finish me. And then the chair disappeared. And then right when he thinks he's dealing with just Bray Wyatt the human, the Fiend comes up from behind him and, takes and just grabs Cena and starts choking him in the mandible claw. And he's getting set to hit him with like the Sister Abigail. I think you can kind of hear one of Cena's promos in the background of him saying how, like, how he's been putting down Bray Wyatt in his promos. And it kind of like, to me, it kind of told a story where it's like Cena basically, like, Bray twisted Cena's thoughts and promos to basically have Cena basically talk about himself, which was Mystique. And then Bray hit the Sister Abigail on Cena. Well, the Fiend did. And then you're shown shots of actual Bray Wyatt and his, without the Fiend mask on, counting the 3. And for what it looks like, Bray Wyatt won. And of course, afterwards, when it cuts back to Titus O'Neil, he's just like, I don't know what to say. And that's how I felt for this match. Like, we felt like we were on drugs watching this match. It was confusing to follow along, but it was different. I thought it was cool. I thought it was just, Bray Wyatt failed to, get into John Cena's head, and this time he did, and he defeated him. Although, once again, did this really make him strong again? Because, again, the guy who squashed him, Goldberg, got squashed by Braun Strowman. So, with obviously maybe this idea with Cena, this idea with maybe Bray Wyatt avenging that loss, maybe I'll make the Fiend extra powerful again. I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. I still am speechless about this match. I still don't know what to really think of it, but I did not hate it. But I didn't think also it was worthy of doing live reactions for it, because I was just speechless and confused on how to react to this. Of course, it would have been interesting to see it in the audience, but that was that. That was that match. And then finally, because I don't have to change the graphics again, we get to our main event. Our main event for the WWE Championship and the rightful match to main event WrestleMania this year. Brock Lesnar versus Drew McIntyre. Wasn't a really long match, probably about like 7 or 8 minutes. But this match did exactly what I felt it needed to do. And, I was doing my best to give Drew the reaction I felt he deserved. Excuse me. He, the match started off with, and him and Brock, to start brawling, but he immediately hit a Claymore kick on Brock, but Brock kicked out of it. So then the match is going on. Now, I said my predictions. My main pick was Drew to win, but it wouldn't surprise me if Brock Lesnar felt like he had met his match. But here's my thing. My thing is, Brock's already lost. However, though, I feel like they made Drew look unique. Because Brock hit like 3 or 4 suplexes on Drew. He then went up and hit Drew with an F5. Now, Brock's probably hit Braun Strowman with an F5. Samoa Joe with an F5. John Cena. Roman Reigns. I think almost all of them kicked out of at least one F5. I don't think Seth Rollins, even though he beat Lesnar twice, I don't think Seth ever kicked out of an F5, as far as I know. But Drew McIntyre, like this would have been a moment where the crowd would pop. Again, this match was good, but again, it would have been so much better, so much more memorable if this had a crowd. This needed a crowd. Like this did, Orton and Edge did, Otis and Dolph did. Tons of matches, of course, would have been so much more better if it had a crowd. This one needed it. I felt like the moment. I felt the energy for this match. Drew McIntyre gets hit with the first F5. And the referee didn't even get to barely count one, and Drew kicked out. And I'm thinking, okay, people have beaten Brock Lesnar, but I don't think anyone has ever kicked out of an F5 that quickly. He hit a second F5 on Drew. And I kind of held my breath. I'm like, oh shoot, don't tell me. This is going to be it now. Nope, one, and then kicks out like right around 2. So obviously he was wounding McIntyre. He hits a third one, and I'm like, oh gosh. When Taker got hit with that third F5, WrestleMania 30, I'm like, nah, he's going to kick out of this. I'm like, I don't think it's a ground. I'm like, I thought this could be it. No, Drew kicked out yet again. And I'm like, you are literally establishing a unique monster. Someone who is different a different entity to Brock. Yes, other people have beaten Brock, but I don't think anyone did what Drew McIntyre did, especially when he kicked out of that first F5 at barely a 1 count. And then Brock was fighting back. But then Drew, boom, hit one Claymore kick. Of course, there was no audience, so he didn't do the 3-2-1. Set up with Brock for a second one. Bam! Another Claymore kick. And I'm feeling that energy. I'm just like, yes, yes, it's coming. It's coming, Drew. You're finally reaching that destiny you've deserved for the longest time. You should have gotten to it last year. And then, bam! One more Claymore. 1, 2, 3. No audience. But Drew McIntyre wins. Finally, after 10 or 11 long years, Drew McIntyre is world champion. Excellent match. Again, this would have been, it was only about an 8-minute match, but with the crowd behind it, this would have been a classical moment in history. No doubt about it. It would have been amazing. It was emotional for Drew. He even looked, as the show was going off the air, he looked into the camera, just reached out to us and just said, thank you. I know, if anyone, besides, Otis and Mandy's kiss, that's one moment definitely, they needed a crowd for. But if there was anyone who deserved that loud pop, standing ovation for this show, it was definitely Drew McIntyre. And he earned this. Much respect to him. I'm so happy for him. This was an excellent match. Again, he looked amazing. He looked like an own unique entity to Brock Lesnar. And he dominated Brock. He looked like a beast. Drew McIntyre is your new WWE champion. Right where he belongs. On top of Monday Night Raw. And that, my friends, that's my review for WrestleMania 36. Before I check the live chat and go off the air, let's check the polls on Twitter. Let me see what we got here. For which grade would you give WrestleMania? I had just 4 choices, of course, A, B, C, D, or lower. Surprisingly, nobody said D or lower. But 36.4% said A. 36.4% also said B. 27.3% said C, but nobody said anything lower than that, which I am surprised, because I'm pretty sure some people wouldn't have liked this WrestleMania. Again, obviously, WrestleMania is not meant to, again, as I said at the beginning of this review, WrestleMania is not meant to be in front of an empty audience, or having a stage that looks like a typical Raw or SmackDown on the inside. And it to me, the crowd missing definitely hurt this show. But I will say, even though at some points, mostly on night 1, it looked like WWE was just doing this just to do it, night 2 had a lot of great moments. And yes, there was a lot of finishes on this show I disagreed with. Especially on night 1. I still don't think I'm 100% for really supportive of Charlotte winning the NXT Women's Championship off of Rhea Ripley. But again, I still thought WWE did, for the most part, I felt did the best they could with what they had this year and what they were able to do and capable of. So to be courteous, I give the show a B-. Again, there was moments in here that I know that if the crowd was there, they would have cherished and enjoyed. The matches, there were some good matches, there was some sucky matches, some ones that didn't have to happen at all whatsoever. But some unique things still happened on this show. And with the rough weekend I had this weekend with my uncle, and with everything else that's, of course, going on with the coronavirus right now, this show, at least, with the exception of almost turning off from night 1, especially night 2, and especially my live reactions, this show did help me, enjoy something that was harder to enjoy with what's going on right now, and, with everything. But I still think this show did the best, for the most part, that they could. So that's why I'm going to give this WrestleMania 36, a B minus. So before we go off the air, let's check the live chat and see what we got here. Let me see here. Where were we at? Oh, we have a long way to go back. Wow, I have a lot to catch up on. Okay. I think you're right here. So Lauren says, so why are Liv and Natty on the show? Do not know. Tia Cooper thinks that the Fiend should win the Money in the Bank. Actually, would before that would be a good way to get him back on track. Why did Charlotte win the NXT title? Does this mean she's going back to NXT, or will the title be emerged? I think she's probably going to go back to NXT for a little bit, I'd say. Watch Rhea be buried now. Oh, better not be. I mean, WWE's super high on her. Oh, yeah, my reaction when Rhea lost was priceless for sure. I want to go back and see that for sure. It probably matches my reaction. I took a picture of it last year whenever the Iconics won the women's tag titles last year and became... I don't want to be too loud because I know my parents are trying to sleep, but WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. That's all they kept saying. That's all they did as champions, is scream that. And now they've been gone for ages. Anyways, we got Jake Niehaus saying such a shame Charlotte won. Definitely. I missed your reaction. I'm sorry, I was watching at the time. No worries. Why does Vince hate NXT? Because he doesn't control it. He has to be in control of everything. Are you surprised we never got Rhea versus Charlotte versus Bianca tonight? Not really, no. Bianca would have been a great factor, and she would have won that title. Maybe. They think they should turn Becky heel since she's accomplished everything. I don't know. I still don't know about that. I still think, it's not Becky's fault. It's just the fact that there's no one else out there really for her to put over. Let me see here. Charlotte vs. Rhea was the second best match of night 2. Charlotte vs. Candice, Charlotte vs. Io, maybe fresh match for her. That is true, definitely. Happy to Charlotte. Lana dyes her hair. Lashley and Aleister didn't need to happen. Unfortunately, correct. Aleister could have used a better opponent. Tyler says, I would have rather have Charlotte and Becky for Mania 36. Have Charlotte and Becky win the women's tag titles at TLC. You saw Becky face Asuka at Rumble. Chances still wins, and Charlotte wins the Rumble. Again, this Charlotte and Becky was not fresh, though. That's why I'd rather have seen Charlotte and Rhea. I want Black and Taker versus the OC, which would have been good. And then you do the match Mania 36. Again, I'm still not too crazy about that, but that's your opinion, Tyler. We're seeing Lashley in pants, yeah, that's for sure. Heck yes, I think Mandy's really good looking. Is Ronda ever coming back to wrestling? I don't know. Again, she wanted to have babies, but then also she almost lost her fingers. So maybe Orton and Black would be great. Charlotte could give up the title. Oh boy, I wonder what that would do. Would have been better if they saved Rusev versus Lashley for tonight. Oh gosh. No, thank you. Lashley should just leave, but was hoping he'd have a feud with Lesnar. That's the one thing I'm still going to hold on for. I do still want to see Lashley versus Lesnar, and then Lashley should go, because I'm sorry, his run has been awful. Let me see here. Where's Rusev anyway? Nowhere to be found. Lashley isn't a good heel, because he basically just does whatever Lana tells him to do. Did you get jealous when Otis and Mandy kissed? Heck yes, I did. I was super jealous of that. Mandy's hot as hell. I haven't been kissed by a girl in ages. Trust me, Mandy Rose would be good, but, I'm just being too weird here. She didn't like the match with Otis and Dolph. I didn't expect it to be light the world on fire, but I expected that moment, and we got that moment, which is what it needed to happen. Oh yeah, Dolph and the Spirit Squad as well. Otis got the girl. Watch Sonya and Dolph date now in the storyline. Maybe, who knows? But again, maybe they'll do. Again, I'm still wondering. Maybe they have Sonya say she did this because she, even though why would she have Dolph date her, if this is the case, but maybe they tried to do that lesbian storyline that she had pitched. Maybe, who knows? Which I still think it could work. Where was Tucker? Manny Rose, especially face turn. Yes, I'll do that tomorrow. Otis and Manny, I don't like them together, but it's an interesting storyline. Oh, definitely. Dolph attacked Tucker after their match on SmackDown for sure. Are you more of a fan for baby faces or heels? Which whoever's more entertaining to me. That would have gotten a nice crowd reaction, definitely. Again, because whenever Otis hit that elbow, it was just like, yeah, oh wait, there's no one here to really make this feel big than besides me. Um, Mania should have just been postponed until June, definitely. JBL was funny when Otis and Mandy kissing. I mean, no offense, JBL annoys the hell out of me to begin with, but if you like that, awesome. How could you not love the Last Man Standing match? Best match in the entire card. Yeah, I don't get why people crapped on it so much. It was a brutal match. It was 36 minutes. Orton was savage. It was smart to attack Edge from behind. Orton is definitely best as a heel. I don't know who I like more, but they're both awesome. And it was emotional as well. Fans have been awesome. Half of the Hall of Pain pay-per-views, basically, yeah, that's what we called that, a hall when they were smashed her into the pay-per-views. Did you notice Edge hesitated and cried after hitting Orton with the concerto? For sure, yeah, and again, that was definitely great emotion on Edge's part. Do you think we'll get a face turn from Orton after this? I still want him to be like him better as a heel. It was emotional. Probably Edge will not be back until SummerSlam, I'd say. Radar KO back together one last run, sure. I definitely think it should happen, especially after tonight. Yeah, we should have been in front of a crowd. I don't think we'll get a Radar KO anytime soon. Orton shall challenge McIntyre. Now he deserves to be a champ. It could be a good match, but I don't think he should be the one to beat McIntyre. It may take a while to build him up, but who I think should be the one to dethrone McIntyre after McIntyre's a long run with it? Aleister Black. Aleister Black and Drew McIntyre? Awesome. I also think we should get Drew McIntyre and AJ Styles while McIntyre's champion. Edge deserves one last title run as well. I agree. There's this one person on Instagram who can't stand Orton at all and was glad he got his ass kicked, showed no emotion at all for Orton, but was all hype for Edge. I was like, damn, you hate Orton. Yep, unfortunately people are like that. They're awesome matches. Again, I don't know if Bianca's a face now or not. I'm going to at least see if this is just a one-time thing or not. Usos now. The Usos are still face. Andrade was injured apparently before WrestleMania and whatnot. Gronk is already a champion. That was fast for sure. The tag titles match on night 2 sucked. It just was what it was. It felt more like a match on Raw than whatnot. The Fatal 5 was so boring. It would have been perfect time for Sasha to turn on Bayley. I agree. That's the only reason why I would have actually appreciated that match if Sasha would have won, but that was dumb. I don't know why they couldn't do just Sasha versus Bayley. Surprised that the WrestleMania Women's title match winner. Love Bayley's heel work, but she had to lose that title. All Vince pushes is blondes, for sure. These things are all hot. Why was Gronk host again? Just to gain attention. Maybe the turn happened then. Bayley was the only champ who retained besides the tag titles. I think so. On night 2 at least. Lacey, yeah, she's not ready. Naomi, I like Naomi. Tamina, I can't stand Tamina. Carmella apparently has been sick, so that's why she was in this match. 5-5 Finals was weird. Zayn retained the IC title. Does that mean a Cena heel turn soon? I don't know what's next for Cena, really. Wasn't even a match. So many references for sure. Best need this win, but why couldn't this have been a stipulation? Not sure we're talking about this. It was like when Triple H did nothing to help Batista get an Elimination Chamber match at New Year's Revolution. Let me see here. What does this mean for Bray and Cena now? I have no idea. I'm surprised WWE let the whole world. Yeah, for sure. Cena was savage during those promos for sure. The workout by the cage is a Saturday night main event reference. That's right, they did do that before it happened. Disappointed in Drew in 5 minutes, and why let him win without reactions? It told the right story though. It wasn't like a complete squash, but it was still told the right story. He probably will want a rematch. People getting their ratings love this as well. People giving Mania overall 7 out of 10. Let me see here. The Edge 24 special was good. Let me see here. A bunch of people getting their something they agree with, disagree with. I'm sorry, I'm about to wrap up because I'm getting tired. Let me see here. Bunch of stuff there. Hey, Mike, hope you're in a good mindset. Oh, yeah, thank you very, very much, Jay, for sure. Again, for those of you who didn't get to see it, yeah, I'll share it one more time before I leave. But I do have a photo to share of my uncle and I. This was, again, back in May of 1995. I was a ring bearer at his wedding. But yes, again, he passed away on Saturday at the age of 60 after an 18-month battle with pancreatic cancer. But just show one more time. But it's the last time I'm definitely going to show it because I mean, it's tough right now, especially since we can't really have like a service or anything for him with what's going on. But once it's clear, we'll have a memorial and whatnot. But thank you very much, Jay, for all that. AJ should be the one to take the title from Drew. Where would you rank this WrestleMania? This Mania had no crowd and was still better than WrestleMania 27. Oh, for sure. I still like middle of the pack, and I still gave it like a B minus for sure. For this WrestleMania. But hate to cut you off, guys, but it's like 20 after 2, and I've been up here for almost 2 hours actually talking about this show. But thank you guys though. I had a blast talking to you guys again, even doing the live reactions. I definitely needed it. Again, just continue to keep my family and myself in your prayers as well, and we'll see what's next for WWE. I still think, since apparently Florida's on a stay-at-home thing now, I really think he definitely was Teen Couponer. I definitely think they still should take a break, but doesn't look like it's going to be happening since they still advertise Money in the Bank, because Vince is that stubborn. He'll do whatever he can to make this work, so we'll see what happens. So, guys, thank you again for joining me live. Again, I'm sorry, again, this kind of, dragged on for a while, but I think we got a lot talked about and whatnot, and yeah, so guys, I'm checking out here. B minus for WrestleMania 36 for me altogether. Night 2 is definitely a lot more better to me. What are your thoughts on WrestleMania 36? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Be sure as always to slap a like on the video, subscribe or comment on my channel, follow me on Twitter at TheManAirboy93, and good night, everybody. Thank you again for all your support this weekend, guys. All the stuff in the live chat. I had fun. I definitely missed, these hot conversations in the live chat going on, and just know that you guys always have a special place in my heart. Love you all. Have a great night. See you guys tomorrow for my Raw review. Peace out, everybody.